Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Principles of Marketing, and we are now at our week 5. And our topic for this week is creating offerings. For this week, we will distinguish the three major components of an offering, which is product, price, and service. We will also define the various types of offerings marketed to individual consumers and explain the branding decision firms make and identify the various levels of packaging for new products. And last is we will be also we will also identify the people involved in creating and managing offerings. So let's proceed to our first slide. We have here creating offerings. So offerings is our products and services designed to deliver value to customers, either to fulfill their needs, satisfy their wants, or both. And so this is an offering. And what composes an offering? It is the product, and the product is a tangible good people can buy, sell, and own. Purchasing a cell phone, for example, will allow you to store up hundreds of photos, and the amount of storage that we have is an example of a feature or characteristics of the offering. So when a feature satisfies a need or want, then there is a benefit. So if the feature satisfy the consumer to his or her needs or wants, then there is a benefit. So we have here the product Milo. So this is a tangible good, and if you are satisfied with its taste and its um, ingredients and also the nutrients that it the Milo has, so there is a benefit. We also have here the price. So the price is the amount people pay to receive the offering's benefits. The price paid can consist of a one-time payment, or it can consist of something more than that. Many consumers think of a product's price as only the amount they paid. However, the true cost of owning an iPad, for example, is the cost of the device itself plus the cost of music or videos downloaded onto it. The total cost of ownership, or TCO, then is the total amount someone pays to own, use, and eventually dispose of a product. TCO, or again, the total cost of ownership, is usually thought of as a concept businesses use to compare offerings. However, consumers also use the concept. And we have here service. And a service is an action that provides a buyer with an intangible benefit. A haircut is a service. When you purchase a haircut, it is not something you can hold, give it to another person, or resell. Pure services are offerings that don't have any tangible characteristics associated with them is a service. For example, skydiving, swimming. So these are services, and this is what composes an offering: product, price, and service. Now we have here the product dominant approach to marketing. So, from the traditional product dominant perspective of business, marketers consider products, services, and prices as three separate and distinguishable characteristics. To some extent, they are. The product dominant marketing perspective has its roots in the Industrial Revolution. So during this era, business people focus on the development of products that could be mass produced cheaply. In other words, firms became product oriented, meaning that they believed the best way to capture market share was to create and manufacture better products at lower prices. Marketing remained oriented that way until after World War. So we have here some products that are mass produced cheaply. We have here canned goods and generic medicine since the Industrial Revolution had begun. And we also have here the service dominant approach to marketing. And for this one, the advantage of the service dominant approach is that it integrates the product, price, and service dimensions of an offering. This integration helps marketers think more like their customers, which can help them add value to their firm's products. In addition to the offering itself, marketers should consider what service it takes for the customer to acquire their offerings. Examples given is the need to learn about the product from a sales clerk, to enjoy them and to dispose of them. Example given again is to someone to move the product out of the house and haul it away, because each of these activities create costs for their customers, either monetary costs or time or and hassle costs. So we have here an example of a video that I will show you. So this is the video.
Oh, ano?
Mura na, matibay pa. Kahit walang warranty, mataas yung quality. Kasi kita mo naman sa gulong pa lang di ka natalo kasi malalaki. Plus airplane wheels, galing type po. It means ganito siya.
Ay, yun lang. Yun yung bagsak niya. Ay, yung kaninang bagsak.
Makakita ko lang dito.
Parang bibili ako pag yung kanilang bagsak kanina.
Isa flexible yung body. Gawa sa 100% virgin materials. Tapos kahit siya ipagtaktakan,
Oh my God! Seryoso ba yan?
So as you can see from the video, um, the sales clerk is doing a demonstration and is giving information about the product because the customer wanted to acquire information about their offering. So it is here in the Philippines. It is a video of, I think it is an SM sales clerk in SM department store and selling luggage as well. So another discussion, or let's proceed to our next topic, and this is the product level and product line. So for this one, product level and product lines. A product's technology platform is the core technology on which it is built. We have here an example, the iPod, so which is based on MP3 technology. Let's start from here. In many cases, the development of a new offering is to take a technology platform and rebundle its benefits in order to create a different version of an already existing offering. So we have here the iPod Shuffle, and then it upgraded into iPod Nano, but it still has the same core technology, and then they offered the iPod Classic and then the iPod Touch. So for this one, we have four product levels. There are four offering levels. Consider the iPod Shuffle. And so for this one, there is the basic offering, the device itself, and the offerings technology platform. So it is originally an MP3 format or storage system used by the Shuffle, and the product line to which the Shuffle begins. So one company only, Apple's iPod line of MP3 music players, and the product category to which the offering belongs. So MP3 players as opposed to iPhones, for example. And for this, this is the product level that we have. For product line, a product line can be deep and broad. Product lines are created to make marketing strategies more efficient. How many offerings they are in a single product line, that is whether the product line is broad or narrow, and it is called line depth. So for this one, the deep is the depth is many offerings of a similar type, and broad is the offerings that are very different from one another and cover a wide range of customers needs. So when you but similar products are added to the product line, it is called line extension. So if Apple again introduces a new MP3 player to the iPad family, that would be a line extension. So what we have here is the line extension, and companies can also offer many different product lines. Line width is a function of how many different or distinct product lines a company has. The entire assortment of products that a firm offers is called the product mix. So that is product level and product lines. So we have also types of consumer offerings. So basically products and services can be categorized in a number of ways. We will use these categories throughout the book because they are the most commonly referred to categories by marketers and because there are marketing implications for each. Consumer offerings fall into four general categories. We have here the convenience offering, we have the shopping offerings, specialty offerings, and unsought offerings. So these are the four general category consumer offerings fall into. So for this convenience offering, these are products and services consumers generally don't want to put much effort into shopping for because they see a little difference between competing brands. So for example, we have here the bread. So let's see the table. We have frequent purchase, little effort. So there's no decision making here, less decision, planning, comparison, low customer involvement. And the price is very low, and the distribution is widespread, and it is in convenient locations. Promotion, mass promotion, it is promoted to everyone, to anyone. And examples of this one is essentials that we have: toothpaste, magazines, laundry detergent, and bread as well. So if we look closely, uh, a consumer might choose the store in which to buy the bread, but be willing to buy whatever brand of bread the store has available. Marketing convenience items is often limited to simply trying to get the product in as many places as possible where a purchase could occur. Closely related to convenience offerings are impulse offerings or items purchased without any planning. And next we have a shopping offering. So this is less frequent purchase. There is much effort. So there is planning, comparison of brands on price, quality, style, and usually the offering here is a higher price and selective distribution and fewer outlets as well. And this shopping offering is one for which the consumer will make an effort to compare and select a brand. And consumers usually believe there are differences between similar shopping offerings and want to find the right one or the best price. Buyers might visit multiple retail locations or spend a considerable amount of time visiting websites, reading reviews about the products. Usually for this one, it's television, furniture, clothing, or cell phone. So you would compare prices to the store or see the features of a phone as well. We have here the specialty offering. And for this one, specialty offerings are highly differentiated offerings, and the brands under which they are marketed are very different across companies too. So this one, it has a strong brand preference and loyalty, special purchase effort, little comparison of brands, and low price sensitivity. Price is higher price as well, and exclusive distribution in only one or a few outlets as well. It is more carefully targeted promotion, and examples of this one is luxury goods. Examples given is Rolex watch, which costs 100,000 pesos above, and also designer clothing, designer bags. We have here designer bags, Prada, Louis Vuitton, and Gucci. So these are specialty offerings, and for specialty offerings, therefore the profit margin on them tends to be greater as well. And the last that we have is the unsought offerings. For unsought offerings, These are those that the buyers do not generally want to have to shop for until they need them. So we have here little product awareness and knowledge or little interest, and the price varies. It depends on their need, and the distribution also depends. And there is aggressive advertising that's happening and personal selling because you are informing your consumer about your product or service, and you need to sell a lot because it is not needed by a buyer until they need them or until they realize they need them. For examples of this is life insurance and pre-planned funeral service. So example is St. Peter Life Plan Chapel. So they offer pre-planned funeral service. We have here B2B again. So business to business offerings and their types. So types of business to business offerings, just like there are different types of consumers offerings, there are different types of B2B offerings as well. But unlike consumer offerings, which are categorized by how consumers shop, B2B offerings are categorized by how they are used. So we have here capital equipment offerings. A capital equipment offering is an equipment purchased and used more than 1 year and depreciated over its useful life. Machinery used in a manufacturing facility, for example, would be considered capital equipment. Professionals who market capital equipment often have to direct their communications to many people within the firms to which they are selling because the buying decisions related to the products can be rather complex and involve many departments. From a marketing standpoint, deciding who should get what messages and how to influence the sale can be very challenging. So this is an example. We have here a backhoe loader, and another category is the raw materials offerings. So for raw materials offerings, these are the materials firms offer other firms as well for so they can make a product or provide a service. Raw materials offerings are processed only to the point required to economically distribute them. Lumber is generally considered a raw material, as is iron, nickel, copper, and other ores. So both raw and manufactured materials are then used in the manufacture of other offerings. Another category that we have is OEM offerings or components. So an original equipment manufacturer or OEM is a manufacturer or assembler of a final product. An OEM purchases raw materials and manufactured materials and component parts and puts them together to make a final part. OEM offerings or components like an on-off switch are components or parts sold by one manufacturer to another that get built into a final product without further modification. Examples of this are cars. And we also have our MRO offerings. MRO means maintenance, repair, and operation. So it refers to the products and services used to keep a company functioning. Janitorial supplies are MRO offerings, as is hardware used to repair any part of a building or equipment. MRO items are often sold by distributors. However, you can buy many of the same products at a retail store and such as this. So another one is facilitating offerings. So for this one, it includes products and services that support a company's operation but are not part of the final product itself. Marketing research services, banking and transportation services, copiers and computers, and other similar products and services fall into this category. Facilitating offerings might not be central to the buyer's business, at least not the way component parts and raw materials are. Yet, to the person who is making the buying decision, this offering can be very important. If you are a marketing manager who is selecting a vendor for marketing research or choosing an advertising agency, your choice could be critical to your own personal success. For this reason, many companies that supply facilitating offerings try to build strong relationships with their clients. So mainly they try to build strong relationship with their clients such as BDO, and BDO's tagline is y- they are the best, something like that. That is why Banco de Oro means number one bank. Okay. So branding, labeling, and packaging. Now that you have your offering, we'll proceed to the brand, the label, and packaging of your offering. So branding, for branding, a brand is a name, picture, design, or symbol or combination of those items used by a seller to identify its offerings and to differentiate them from competitors' offerings. Branding is a set of activities designed to create a brand and position it in the minds of computers. It is important that you have your own brand because it will be your tool to identify your own product and to differentiate your product from your others, especially to your competitors. We also have packaging decisions. Another set of questions to consider involves the packaging on which a brand's mark and a name will be prominently displayed. Speaking of mark, brand mark is the symbol associated with a brand. So, brand name and brand marks are important to companies because consumers use them to make choices. So, what what products do have brand mark? For example, we have Nike. So, for Nike, it indicates a check mark. So, we also have Adidas. For Adidas, there are three uh, parallel lines that is equal to a triangle. So that is a brand mark. So we also have for Coke, and it is the wave. So that is associated with the brand. So for example, the curvaceous shape of Coca-Cola Coke's bottle is a registered trademark. And if you decide to market your beverage in a similar shaped bottle, Coca-Cola's attorneys will have grounds to sue you because this is their own brand and this is their own packaging. So, packaging has to fulfill a number of important functions, including communicating the brand and its benefits, also protecting the product from damage and contamination during shipment, as well as damage and tampering once it's in retail outlets, we'll never know, and preventing leakage of the contents and presenting government required warning and prevention levels. So for this one, we have types of packaging. We have the primary packaging, and it holds a single retail unit of a product. Mainly, primary packaging can be used to protect uh, and promote products and get the attention of consumers. Also, primary packaging can also be used to demonstrate the proper use of an offering, provide instructions on how to assemble the product, or any other needed information. We also have this secondary packaging, and it holds a single wholesale unit of a product. Secondary packaging is designed more for retailers than consumers. It does not have to carry warning or nutrition labels, but it is still likely to have brand marks and labels as well. Secondary packaging further protects the individual products during shipping. And last is the tertiary packaging, and it is the packaging designed specifically for shipping and efficiently handling large quantities. So this is an example. We have the primary packaging. So it is in a can. It has a label and it has the nutritional facts, expiration label, and so on and so forth. And the next one is the secondary packaging, and it is designed more to further protect the individual's products during shipping. And we have here the tertiary packaging or the transit packaging, and it is designed specifically for shipping and efficiently handling large quantities. And we also have here explaining how to manage the offering. So in managing the offering, managing all of a company's offerings presents a number of challenges depending on the size of the company and the breadth of the company's offerings. So there are several positions that may be needed. We have here the brand manager. So he or she is the person responsible for all business decisions regarding offerings within one brand. By business decision, we mean making decisions that affect profit and loss, which include such decisions as which offerings to include the brand, how to position the brand in the market, pricing options, and so forth. Indeed, a brand manager is often charged with running the brand as if it were its own separate business. A brand manager is more likely to be found in consumer marketing companies. And the next one that manages the offering is the product manager, and what you often he or she is who you often find in a B2B company. Product manager is someone who with business responsibility for a particular product or product line. Like the brand manager, the product manager must make many business decisions such as which offerings to include, advertising selection, and so on. Next that we have is the category manager. And in some companies, a category manager has responsibility for business decisions within a broad grouping of offerings. At the retail level, a category manager at each store is responsible for more than just one manufacturer's product. And last is the market manager, and he or she is responsible for business decisions within a market. Some companies have market managers but no brand managers. Instead, the vice president of marketing or other executive is responsible for the brands. Market managers can be found in both consumer markets and B2B markets. However, vertical market managers are found only in B2B markets. Vertical market managers are responsible for managing all customers such as this retail, wholesale, and so forth in a particular industry compose what's called a vertical market. So this is how we manage the offering. So as you can see, so from creating offering, and then we also distinguish types of consumer offering such as the convenience shopping, specialty, and unsought, and then the types of B2B offering as well. And then after we had created the offering, we proceed to branding, labeling, and packaging, and then who will manage the offering. So this is what is week 5 all about. So for references, you may look principles of references and suggested readings. You may look principles of marketing from Mindshapers Co. Inc. Murala Street, Intramuros, Manila. Written by Pedrito Real Pereda and Purisima Pedrialba Pereda and Vicente M. Castillo. So for your activity, I will we have two activities. We have activity 1 and activity 2. And for I will just require you to answer activity 1, and it is an essay type, and only answer number 4. So choose one popular TV commercial and analyze it as follows. So what is the product, who are the endorsers, and what is the storyline of the commercial, and what value does the commercial appeal to? So that that is only our activity for week 5. So once again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. You may send me a message through my Facebook account or through Facebook Messenger. Also, you might directly ask me at school. We are also now at Google Plus. You may also send or comment your questions in the stream of the class code that we have, or the classroom that we have. So before ending this lesson, I would like to say thank you and share a Bible verse from the book of Mark, chapter 9, verse 23. Said Jesus, everything is possible for one who believes. So once again, thank you everyone, and God bless.